The 2022 Kia Carnival is the Un-Minivan. It's not a minivan, it's not an SUV, but it has the best of both. And we're gonna take two different trim levels for a drive. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix. Today we're going to be test driving two Kia Carnivals. There's an SX Premium and the SX. There's a little differences between the two, but we're going to show you some of the features so you can see what's available in both packages. One comes fully loaded with all the goodies. The other one is pretty well loaded, but does not have a lot of the digital and cool technology. This is up to you, and the difference is not that much, and it's something that you should look at both versions to see which fits your family. The Kia Carnival is not a minivan. However, it does compete in the minivan market, which is the Toyota Sienna, the Honda Odyssey, the Chrysler Pacifica, and this is something you need to note, that this vehicle does not come in plug-in or hybrid. We'll talk about some of the different features that make this Carnival stand out. And it's no Circus. We'll see how the Kia Carnival competes in 10 different categories: performance, handling, safety, visibility, seating comfort, the cool technology, the great features that are available. Then we'll go on the outside and talk about the design and the quality and the warranty, which is important to you. And we'll also then cover cargo, the value and the price of this vehicle in both different vehicles. And then we'll give you a Car Coach Reports total. And in the end, you'll be able to compare all the different vehicles. There's a list down below with the competition and all those reviews, so you can see how they each compare next to each other, because you want to make sure to make the right decision for your family. Our channel does more than car reviews. We give you first looks of new vehicles as they come out, and we give you car smarts, because knowledge is power, and we want you to make the right decision for your family, because nobody wants buyer's remorse. Let's start with looking under the hood of the Kia Carnival. Under the hood of all Kia Carnivals is a 3.5-liter V6 engine. It has 290 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, backed by an 8-speed automatic transmission, and all of them are front-wheel drive. Let's start off with the 0 to 60 at 7.4 seconds. That's kind of at the top of the range. We're going to sport mode. Here we go. Ooh, a little bit of peel out. And we're at 60. So that's pretty good. It's got really good get up and go, and that's important on on-ramps and when you need to make a pass, or if you wish to drive this Spirited. I don't know how many people are going to drive this Spirited, but there'll be times when you will need it and you'll want it. The fuel economy for this Kia Carnival is no Circus. It's 19 miles to the gallon in the city, 26 on the highway, and 22 combined, which is right in the sweet spot. Now, if this was available in a hybrid, then you'd get even better fuel economy, but the price would probably be higher. This would take up a lot of energy if this was a plug-in vehicle, so keep that in mind. Depending upon what you're doing, when a plug-in may come down the road, who knows, or a hybrid, you'll want to look at all of your costs, including your insurance rates, before you kind of decide which one's the right one for you. There is a 3,500-pound towing capacity, and that's pretty much the same across all the competitors, so you won't be gaining or losing anything when it comes to towing capacity. This thing has really good get up and go. I'm surprised how much power it has, because a lot of the vehicles in the category, some have a little bit more horsepower, and you can check that out in the reviews for the Sienna and of course the Odyssey and the Pacifica. We reviewed all of them, including the hybrid Pacifica and all the different hybrid and plug-in options, and you can check that out on our channel, and there's also a link to that down below. Let's move this to a different drive mode, which is the Smart Drive mode. This is a balance of fuel economy and good pickup, and instantly you note that the RPMs in the tachometer drop down and the vehicle becomes really drivable. Not that it wasn't otherwise, but this is nice. This is a really nice balance of performance and fuel economy, and that's why they have it the Smart mode. There's also a normal and an eco mode, so if you're sitting in traffic, the eco mode is very friendly when it comes to sipping on gas, just cruising around town in that 30-mile-an-hour zone or that school zone. You kind of want to put it in the eco mode because it's not about performance, it's about safety there too. But we'll talk about safety coming up. But for performance, this vehicle earns a 9, because this is a people mover, an MPV, a multi-person vehicle, a multi-transportation vehicle. It's a Un-Minivan, like a 7-Up, like the Un-Cola. Our SX Prestige and the Prestige vehicle both have 19-inch alloy wheels that are black. Good looking vehicle too. The Carnival has active safety handling, which allows you to make aggressive maneuvers if needed, hopefully you don't have to, and keep the vehicle stable and under control. Now, as far as quietness, listen, pretty darn quiet. This vehicle is really quiet inside, which is good for communicating with your children. We'll talk about that a little bit more in features because there's some really cool features on this car that might fit your family or your personal needs. The brakes are nice and firm, and it's a very confident pedal, and this is important because no matter what braking distance is, you have to feel confident behind the wheel, and here we go. Nice firm pedal. You should be very confident with this vehicle, both its handling, its quiet ride, and its overall stance on the road. They did a really good job, and for handling, this Carnival earns a 9. When it comes to safety, obviously this is really important because we are moving people around, and this vehicle has 12 standard advanced driver assist features that the competition doesn't have, but it also has the blind spot view monitor. That's on the upgraded version of the SX Prestige. Standard is forward collision avoidance with pedestrian detection, blind spot, collision warning and collision avoidance, rear cross traffic alert, which is really important when you're backing out of a parking spot, and of course the warning for collision avoidance. Park distance warning, which is great because you cannot see all the corners and you don't want to hit anything. Lane departure warning and lane keeping assist, lane following assist, and driver attention warning, which gives you that little cup of coffee to remind you you're not paying attention. Standard is also the blind spot collision avoidance and parallel exit. So when you're trying to pull out of a parking spot, it will guide you. Standard is passenger safe exit assist. It uses blind spot detection radar to detect if there's a car coming up from behind and will not let you open the door. That's really good so no one gets run over. If you upgrade to the digital gauges, you will get that blind spot view monitor. When you're looking at all the safety features and how you can change those settings, this vehicle earns a 10 for safety. When you're looking at visibility, 80% of your driving decisions are based on visibility. And the first thing you're going to notice is this huge piece of front glass. And that is good so you can actually see the roadway. It's designed in such a way you get almost that minivan feeling out the front with the sloped front nose, which is actually good because then you can see the roadway. Looking out the side, the sills where you might rest your arm is at the perfect height. Not too high, not too low, and that means a big piece of glass in what we call the greenhouse area. And looking out the sides and the back, even in the second row and third row, have really good visibility. Now this is where there's a limit, and you need to be aware of this. Looking out in that blind spot, which is that C-pillar, which is right there behind that second row, that's where your limitation is on most vehicles. When you put the vehicle in reverse, it goes into a split screen, which is an around view camera and a backup camera with, of course, warnings to let you know how close you are to things. It's not the highest quality, it's a very good quality and better than some of the other competitors on the market. And this is important because you want to see detail when you're backing up. Now the rear view mirror does not turn into a camera. You do see that on some vehicles. And that's kind of where I kind of ding it. If you're going to do the coolest technology and the top of the line neatest thing, that might be something you'll see in future Kias. For this Kia Carnival, visibility earns an 8. In the front seat, there are tons of adjustments. For the driver, you have adjustable telescoping and tilt steering wheel. Fabulous. Really easy to use. It's a manual lever. On the seat itself, there is 4-way lumbar for the driver. You can move forward and back. Really easy to use. Nothing unusual. There's also adjustable height seat belts, both the driver and passenger side. That's important because you don't want to be cutting your neck with the seat belt, because you're not going to like this car then. Of all the coolest goodies you can get for this vehicle, I am shocked that there is not even a simple 2-way lumbar on the passenger side of this vehicle. Really disappointing. I got to ding Kia for that because that frustrates me. That second row can be comfortable if you get the captain's chairs that are reclining and ventilated and heated, but even in this top of the line vehicle, you cannot get lumbar on the passenger side. Odd. Let's take a look at the second row. There are 2 different seating options. In the second row, you can get a bench seat, which seats 3 people, and 2 latch systems. You can fold down this center seat and it's removable. Then you can go to the SX Premium. Once you move up to the SX Prestige, you get the heated, ventilated second row. Super impressive. These seats not just go back and forth, but there's an armrest and they also slide, which is really nice for getting to the other row. Heated and ventilated in the second row, very unusual in this price point, considering this complete package is really impressive. The adjustments for the second row, I forgot to tell you, are here on the left and the right side, just like as if they were front seats, but the seats recline, and that's pretty cool. The third row has some nice features, starting with really comfortable third row seats. I mean, that seems unheard of. They really have some nice support. The center seat might be a little tight, good for 3 kids back here. You also have little screens so that you can have a little privacy back here, or if the sun's bothering you. That is pretty cool. In addition, you have cup holders all over the place. You have charging ports. Even on the side of the front seats, you have charging ports. So they've done a great job looking at all the different possibilities, whether it's a 12 volt, a wall outlet, all that is here. And there's separate lighting. There's lights here as well, separate vents. The kids are going to love it back here. Actually, adults will like it back here as well. When it comes to seating, this vehicle earns a 9. For technology, which has become very important, this vehicle starts with an 8-inch screen and an available 12.3-inch screen that has a digital gauge cluster, and that is here in the SX Prestige. This is really cool. I've seen this in a lot of other vehicles. It's really up to date. One of the things I have to show you is when you change the drive modes, that's neat. And these different drive modes we discussed in handling, but I had to show you the visual because we were test driving the other vehicle, which is just the SX, and it did not have this beautiful, cool gauge package in front of us. Really neat. In addition, if you go through the little menu screen, which is on the right of your steering wheel, you can adjust different features, telling it what you want. Heading back to the center screen, it is large, it is updated, and it is a pretty fast processor. That's pretty cool. In addition, you've got your menu, your phone, you have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. These are very important to people, and it's standard. And I think that's important because not every vehicle has it standard. You can do your voice memo and projection, and this is one of my favorite things. Honda has this as well. It is a front microphone that will pick up your voice and send it to the rear speakers, such as, "Stop touching your sister. Who has to go to the bathroom? Time for a potty stop," whatever it might be when you're going on a road trip. I think we've all done that. "I'm gonna pull this car over." These are all kind of things that you can let your kids know. Kind of fun. I'm sure they'll enjoy that. Then you have passenger view. If you've got little kids back there and they're touching each other, causing issues, I can see you. I'm sure they're not going to like that much, but I do, and I think every parent is going to like that so they know what's going on in the back seat. There's also a quiet mode, rear climate control, your HD radio data, your radio, and your setups. Moving further over, you've got your media for your Apple CarPlay and such, your sounds of nature. We've seen this on the Genesis, we've seen this on Kias and Hyundais. This is becoming a standard. You can have different audio sounds based on what you want to hear. Some are very cool. Some, like snow, I could do without, but it's nice to know that it's there. It's put together by Bose. It's pretty cool. This is the UVO system. This also built in Wi-Fi. It has road assist, calendars, your weather, your diagnostics, and what you might need. Your owner's manual is now digital as well, so you don't have that big book that looks like War and Peace. You'll be able to read it whenever you need it on the road. Very cool, easy to use, and when you hit home button, it literally goes right to the main screen. Nice and quiet and calming and not a lot of issues. When you're looking at technology as a whole for this vehicle, there is a lot, and they have done a fabulous job in this category, bringing you the best of technology. There's not much you could add to this vehicle other than maybe a head-up display, but when you're looking at technology, this vehicle earns a 10. When you're looking at features, this Kia with the new logo there in the center also has your normal controls on the left side of your steering wheel, which is your audio system and the modes that you can change. Going over to the right side, you have those different menus you can change. I showed you in technology. That is for centering, lane centering, distance control. Those are part of your safety features, and you can adjust all of that right here. Your stalks are normal. They are just your regular turn signal and headlights. And on this side, you have your wiper blade, both front and rear. The left side of the steering wheel has the same as the other vehicle, which is your lane centering and your ability to open and close the doors and lock them, because you know how kids are, they do weird things. You also have your memory seating and your normal door controls. The gauges are digital. You can also get the regular analog gauges. That's what we showed you in the other vehicle. Again, this is a personal choice. It's good to know that you could pick what works for you. Going to the center screen, we talked about this and technology. I really like this pattern. This is embossment of aluminum. It's really cool. It's different on the other vehicle, but the materials are really nice. I love the color combinations. The interiors are fabulous material. They're nice, they're soft, and they've really done an impressive job. I'm shocked, because a lot of times when you think minivan, you think, oh boy, I'm giving up something. You're not giving up anything on this vehicle. And so you get your push button start. That's all of your controls for your center screen, your climate control, your 3 connection points, same as in the other vehicles, wireless charging. And then further back, you've got your regular shifter, normal shifter, nothing funky, no push buttons, 2 cup holders, and a spot for whatever that might be. That is your drive mode button on the left behind the shifter, your auto hold. And then you've got your heated and cooled seats for both sides, your heated steering wheel, your park assist, and when you press this button, it brings up the rear view camera automatically so you can see what's going on. Very nicely done. A little bit of storage back here, and then you go into the center console. Going inside the center console, you've got a huge well, but no charge ports, but you don't need it because you have charge ports literally everywhere, including on the side of the seats. Both vehicles have this. That is pretty standard on all of the Carnivals. On the SX Prestige, there is a climate control setting back here for those passengers, as well as your heated and cooling for the seats are on the door itself. The overhead console has some additional controls. When you're looking at all of these phenomenal features for this vehicle, there's not much you could add. It earns a 10. The design of the Kia Carnival is really different than other vehicles that are in the class. The reason for this is it has an SUV front, but it looks like a Telluride, right? It looks like the other vehicles that are in the Kia family, and there's some really neat features, starting off with the new Kia logo, which I think looks pretty cool. Then they took each section of the grille and it's chromed. It's very cool, it's very clean, very modern and stylish. And then you've got this logo line, and that's the Kia Tiger Mouth that you'll see on other vehicles. You'll also note that there is a driving light here. It's very cool, and then it's a pretty muscular hood. Going over to each corner of the grille, you'll see a driving light. It's really nice, it's bright, it's LED, and that's the marker lights or the running lights. They're also LEDs as well. The headlights also follow the same LED design, nice and small and compact, because these new headlights are very bright. Further down below the driving lights, you'll see some vents. It's functional, and it helps bring air through the vehicle so that it's really nice and clean as far as airflow and good fuel economy. Typically, on vehicles like this, the vents are not functional, and this is pretty cool. Now, going down the side, you will see some really nice design cues. The SX and the SX Prestige both have 19-inch alloy wheels. The entry-level vehicles have 17-inch wheels. There's no sunroof on our test vehicle, just so you know there's a difference between the two vehicles. One has it and one doesn't. Behind the second row is this really nice modern piece of aluminum, which then follows itself all the way back to the rear of the vehicle. Going around to the back, this brake light goes all the way across the back. Very clean, very modern, and that new Kia logo. Now, there's one thing that Kia did that I think is excellent, and you're going to start seeing this in more and more vehicles, is they tucked up that rear wiper all the way here underneath the rear wing. There's a third brake light, there's a squirter, and it's nicely hidden. That's a good idea because it protects that wiper blade so it doesn't get damaged, especially if you're using an ice scraper, but it also lasts longer. And they are kind of pricey, so it's nice to protect that, and it also doesn't stand out in the way. Better airflow, and it looks more modern. They put the Carnival logo here. It's nice and clean. There's not a lot of logos across the back, just the Kia logo. Further down, you've got your marker lights, and this is your rear valance. There really isn't a lot to be shown here, but that's the idea. Keep it clean, keep it simple, keep it modern, and for design, they earned a 9. The quality of the Carnival is really impressive. Not just the panels and the design and the paint quality, but also the fit and finish and the materials both inside and out. It offers a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty plus roadside assistance. This vehicle really did impress. There were a few minor areas that I would like to see improved, but that may happen over time. But for today, our Kia Carnival earns a 9 for quality. Coming around to the back of the Carnival is a very deep well. This is where the third row seats store. It's about 40.2 cubic feet of storage. Put down all the seats. This is with the bench seats being removed. You have 145.1 cubic feet of storage. That's as much as a Suburban. That's a lot of storage, if you need that much. To put the third row down, it is manual. You pull this lever, you pull back, and the seat folds down here, making this a flat area. Folding down the second area, which is a 60/40 third row, Now you've got a ton of storage. Now you can remove the second row, and they are adjustable both forward and back like we discussed in seating. But overall, there is a ton of storage, especially compared to the competition. Not that difficult to do. They are a touch on the heavy side. It would be nice if they were power, but at this price point, this is pretty good. The value of the all-new 2022 Kia Carnival is pretty impressive. This vehicle came in at $42,000. This is the SX. This is the SX Prestige for $5,000 more. You're getting those totally awesome heated, ventilated, moving, reclining second row seats. There are a few other features that are different as far as details, but pretty much the same vehicle. You just get a lot more goodies for that $5,000, and that of course increase your price. The Carnival starts around $32,100. As you add on all the different trim levels, the different features, of course it gets more expensive, and this is the top of the line at $47,100. When you're looking at a value score of this vehicle compared to the other minivans in the market and a lot of the SUVs, this Carnival earns a 9. The 2022 Carnival really performs in a lot of areas, and there were a lot of positives, just a few negatives. And one of the things I really liked was the performance. You had the ability to get up and go whenever you wanted to. The fuel economy wasn't phenomenal, but it's not a hybrid, and it doesn't need to be. The cargo capacity is fabulous, and the value and the technology really packed full of great features. When we saw the first look of this vehicle, we knew that Kia had a really impressive package, and the competition in both minivan and SUV categories should be concerned because there's a lot packed into this new Carnival. The 2022 Kia Carnival earns a Car Coach Reports total of 92. Now, Kia's putting out a lot of new product this year, and you can follow me on all forms of social media at Lauren Fix. I'll be putting that up, and we'll putting up first looks of these so that you can be on top of what's coming out so you can make really good decisions. Our contributors have also reviewed this vehicle. You can check that out on our website, carcoachreports.com. If you got value from this video, make sure to like it and share it with your friends. We want to make sure that you get great information because a salesman's going to try and sell you on this car, and we're going to give you information they won't have. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much for watching.